Oh, no, no, no. I need to be able to get up here. Please. Thank you. Alright. Hello everyone, Thranxes here, and welcome back to Astroneer Episode 2, where we've got research going on, and it's quite a bit of soil containers. We've got 3, we're working on our 4th, we've got 1 resin, almost a second, and some compound. So with this episode, we're going to be going into the cave system here, and we're just going to take a little peek and see how long it takes to get to something juicy. So we have some compound right here. That's pretty handy. Oxygen all along the sides. We got some energy up there. Looks like it changes down to the green level. So as the functionally the soil is all the same, whether it be green or purple or what have you, but the lower that it goes as it changes colors, that just sort of marks how far down you're going. It doesn't necessarily indicate anything else. And I think what we're looking at here... Oh, look at that. That's actually pretty interesting. Okay, so... Seems like the cave system goes pretty deep just beneath us. So I think what's going to end up happening is we're not going to use this tunnel system. We could. It wouldn't be the end of the world. We're going to probably tap into it. Most of what I like to do is to make my own caves. What are we doing here with power? 300 bytes remaining, and we're currently at 580 bytes. That's pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and unlock the mineral extractor. There we go. And we're going to need more compound for the mineral extractor we're going to put here. It's acting like it can go even though there's not compound on it. Yeah, no, we got to put compound on it. We're getting a little bit of power from our small wind turbine there. So let's see, how do we want to do this? Thinking right here, we'll just cave out into this direction. We could ramp down that way. We could ramp down over this direction. Okay. I think I know how I want to do it. So the first things first, let's go get some more resin. So we always need a lot of resin, and we're going to grab some of this organic while we're here. Although this organic obviously seems to take a good amount to give us one. There we go. Okay. Oh, looks like there's some resin and some compound over here. That's good stuff. So we'll just grab a little bit of compound, and then we're going to grab a little bit of resin. No, we're not going to point at it. We're going to snag it up. That's oxygen 25%, and we're still going. Oh. Always trying to push it to the limit. That's not going to work out this time, I don't think. Oh, we might be a little far. Oh, we're slowing down. It's gonna be so close. Oh, wow. Okay. I was holding my breath there. Wasn't sure if we were gonna make it. Quite literally. Holding my breath. No. Alright, so. I'm thinking. What we'll do is we'll actually extend this out this direction. Like this. Perfect. Okay, now from here, this is where we're going to go ahead and ramp down, and we'll talk about how that's going to work. So, when you want to create an incline, what you're looking for is the flattened terrain, because the flattened terrain is going to make sure that whatever angle that section of your terrain tool is at is going to continue until you let go of the button and have it reassess a new zone. So the way to start, which I usually do for my own caves, is to get a nice little bit of a downward slope here to where you can see that it's, oh, that's a little steep actually. That probably looks good. Let's see what that looks as we go down. So as you can see, the flattened terrain is taking that slope, that specific angled slope that we had, and making it so that all of the terrain is sloped that way. As long as it's traversable by foot, which it is, then we're going to go ahead and continue this on. So it's going to be a little cramped at first, but luckily your terrain tool does not use any actual power. Alright. So it's going to go relatively quickly as far as not having to recharge. Now, one of the things that we can do... Did we get a second compound? We did. Uh-oh. That sound means no research is happening. Right, well, we don't want that. That's why we gathered one organic. So we'll go ahead and... Actually, we're going to hold off on that real quick because we're going to make our mineral extractor happen. And we're going to move our generator over here so that this gets powered, and we're going to talk about what this does. So, the mineral extractor will duplicate any material you have, as long as you have to have one. You can't just come at it with no minerals. And we're going to take this resin because we need so much resin for what we're doing. And then it needs soil. So you're going to take your canisters of soil. You're going to go ahead and put them up here. As you can see, it's going to fill up this bar. And every line that it's filling up is how many of that resource you're going to get once you activate it. So once this thing gets full power, which should be here just any second. Boom. Now you can see we're going to get 8 resin from our soil. So it basically spins the soil around looking for the mineral you have. Now, different minerals are going to require different amounts of soil. For half of a bar, which is what this was, half a bar worth of soil, we're going to get 8 resin. Resin and compound, fairly easy to get. The rarer minerals, you know, once you start getting up into the, you know, lithium and coal and things like that, it actually takes quite a bit. So now we have resin. Now we can expand our base in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and eat this up a little bit and widen the top here so we can actually walk easily. Alright, that should be good. We're just going to continue this little tunnel down here at this angle. And eventually we should break into where we want to be, which is the cave system underneath us. Now, in my experience, there are so many caves underground, so many underground tunnels in Astroneer, you absolutely do not have to attempt to always find a cave system. In fact, you can... Oops, hold on. In fact, in my experience, you can always just dig down and you will find a cave. That is a thing that will happen. And that's what I like to do. I like to create my own cave entrances. Now we know there's a pretty big cave system underneath us. The question is when we're going to break into it. But as you can see, we're still in the purple section of the terrain, so we haven't gone down too far yet. And we're starting to run out of oxygen. Which is no worries. We're right here still. And one of the other reasons I prefer to do this is because you fill up a lot of your soil containers. And as you just saw, soil containers that are full, that's pretty much your bread and butter for making more of any given minerals that you have found. So eventually we're going to break through the purple level and hit the green, which is what looked like where there was a lot of good stuff. And we need to keep widening this top area so we can see. Unfortunately, our terrain tool cursor is a little small still, without any modifications to our tool. Looks like a cave right there. Look at that, broke right through. Okay, let's go back. We'll get some oxygen. How's our research doing? 30 bytes a minute. Could be worse, but we're up to 337 bytes, which is good, but we're going to need a lot more. So hopefully we'll be able to find a nice bit of research down here. Alright, let's go ahead and level this out here. So we're just going to even this up so that you can walk easily from one to the other. Pretty easy, I think. That looks like laterite. We're just going to even that up a little bit. Okay. There's a lot going on down here. I think we're going to need some tethers. At some point, you have to pull the trigger on tethers. I like to delay that as much as possible so that I don't have to constantly keep hunting for compound. But we know there's some compound right over here in the side of this wall. So I'm just going to grab it really fast. It's not even going to be enough for one. Come on. There we go. Way to make me work for it. Okay. We're still getting some power at night thanks to our handy-dandy small wind turbine. Go ahead and save our game. Now we have some compound here, but as you saw, I kind of set one compound and one resin aside, and that's because you don't want to use the last of your resources, ever. You always want to be able to print more from the mineral extractor, and that requires that you keep at least one of everything you find and set it somewhere to ensure that you don't accidentally use it. Now, tethers are like links of your base, especially the hubs, because they will relay oxygen and power from your base down to you, wherever you might be. Huh. I could have sworn the tethers had little lights and colors on them. Not sure what changed. I thought the tethers were all colorful now. Well, perhaps there was another update in between when I played last and this episode. Interesting. So in my other world where I was practicing what I was going to do when I decided to make this series, my tethers were all different colors. They were red, they were green, they were blue, and it was really handy because I could set important intersections as a certain color because it starts to be a little maze-like after a while. And it really helped out, so I'm not sure what that's all about. I'm going to go ahead and hollow that out. That. Okay, it's a little creepy in here. Those plants, okay, so these plants don't hurt you to walk next to them, but if you dig them up, they will pop and explode, and if you're nearby, then it's a bad time. So you don't want to dig them up when you're close to them. Oh, we have some laterite, or aluminum, and that looks like malachite just beyond it. So that's a good beginning right there. Let's go ahead and get our laterite. Right, so technically once you have one, you can go make more in the mineral processor. But that takes, you know, soil and energy and everything else. So it's still beneficial to gather as many of the raw resources as you can, just because it's a lot easier that way. Let's see if we can get one more here. That would be really nice. Uh-oh, is there more? That would surprise me if there was more than 4 here. Doesn't look like it. Maybe a research here? Nope. Maybe a research here. Underneath a lot of these plants, you can find all sorts of research and... Oh, here we go. Research. Unknown. If it looks like a circle or a cube and it looks weird, it's probably research. Oh, no, no, no. I need to be able to get up here. Please. Thank you. Alright. Let's head back up. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is pop these really quick from a distance so they don't hurt me. Ooh, yeah, see all that poison gas there? You don't want to be near that. Alright, so we have our next research project right here. Even though we don't have research happening right now because we don't have enough power. And here's our smelter. So the way the smelter works is you take your laterite, and your laterite turns into aluminum. Oh, there's a storm coming. But again, we don't want to use all of our resources, so we're going to save 1 laterite right here. And rather than, well, no, that storm's going to miss us. Okay, so not every storm is always a direct hit to where you are. You just have to pay attention to where they are. Oh, there we go. We're getting extra power, so we're up to 50%. There's only a few seconds left, so we're just going to wait here and set the next research on top as soon as it's ready. Look at it. It's all pulsating and undulating. That's pretty cool. Research complete. I like that little sound. Alright, this research is going to be 300 bytes over 12 minutes. Very slow. 25 bytes a minute at a quarter power. So that's only 100 bytes a minute at full power. Not the end of the world. Not one of the best ones, but it'll be okay. Oh, and there's another one here. But we already know this one is slow. It's not a lot. It's not a lot in totality, but it's also over a long period of time. So these aren't the best. But we're going to grab it just so that we have it in case we have dead time on our research panel. You can get a lot of different research from caves, but there are different kinds of research. I believe the ones like that you find off plants and such are considered organic research. And there's also ore research and a couple others, which we'll talk about when we get there. Now let's... And what we need is to build this like a slope down. So we can easily get back and forth. Okay. Let's see, we'll drop another tether here. Oops. A little too far away from its friend. About right here. And then maybe here. Right. And this slope is almost traversable. There we go. And we'll put another tether here. Voila. Now the next resource that you need in abundance is malachite. Malachite in the smelter turns into copper, the same way that laterite turns into aluminum, and we're going to need lots of both. Sorry, but that volume for those sounds seems to be a little loud in the cave. Everything seems to be a bit loud, actually. Hopefully that won't be as bad. Alright, let's continue getting our malachite. Looks like we're going to get... Let's see, what do we have? We have 2. Okay. Two is bearable. It allows us to at least make more out of the mineral processor, but it doesn't look like there's any more in this area. Okay. Wow, this is a rather large cave system. The heck is this over here? There's like sunlight peeking in from... Oh, an opening there. Look at that. Well, we have more malachite here, so let's go ahead and grab that. There we go. And we also want to get one more laterite. Okay. That looks good. Now let's go ahead and run back before we run out of oxygen. Suffocating in the depths of the cave. Okay, we made it. So what I was trying to get, and what we successfully got, was... Oh, see, I don't like it when the tethers cut through terrain like that. That kind of bothers me. Okay. It's a small thing when it clips through the terrain, but if I can help it, I try to move it off to the side. So now we have 4 laterite plus 1 extra for duplicating, and we have 4 malachite plus 1 extra, so we have 5 of each, and that is what I was going for. And I think what we'll start with is not the laterite, actually, but the malachite. We don't really need the aluminum yet. You need copper a little bit more frequently, in my opinion. Alright, there we go. You'll see, malachite goes in, and copper comes out. And we'll get the laterite ready. Even though, and remember though, every time you do this, it's used up all this power, so now this has to get power, which you'll have to make sure has priority over the research station before we can use it again. Speaking of research, we're going to come over here and make a medium printer, which is what this building is going to be. And it's aluminum. I chose wrong. Could you believe it? Could you believe I choose wrong? It happens sometimes. It looks like we're just at a dead spot here with our power. There's no sun, there's no wind. Let's go get some organic. Yeah, here we go. This is a pretty big field of organic here. There we go. There's one. If I recall, these up here give a lot of organic. There we go. Yes, they do. And then we also have more resin, which we might as well get while we're here. We're going to need lots and lots of resin. Resin seems to be one of those things that no matter how much I get and I think, oh, that'll last us a while, I always run out. Alright, let's get one more. Alright, there we go. Even though we just made resin at the mineral processor, it's still one of those things that it's hard to pass up when we're there at it. And I know that we need it. Let's move we'll move the generator over here and give it some organic, and that should help us out with this aluminum situation. And then all of this resin is going to have to be moved. Alright, so let's see. We can start adding little pod stations here and there. And I think we'll add another one here. I don't know if we're going to put one on this side just yet. Maybe. Let's see. Was that all the resin we had on us? Yes, it was. Okay, good. So now we just have this resin, which we're going to go ahead and take off. Wonderful. And you can load soil into the mineral extractor. I keep calling it the mineral processor. You can load your soil up just to make sure that you're making good use of it and not wasting full canisters while you're digging. And it'll sit there. It'll just hang out. And in fact, that's only half full, so it takes 8 full canisters to fill it up completely. Alright, we've made way too much resin. What we can do is... I think we will go ahead and build one out this way. And out this way. Still have two more resin. Okay, well how about we'll do this one and this one. You're gonna need a big base even to start out. I like to make a big base. I don't like to undersell it. Hey, look at that. Time for some aluminum. So put 2 in, and voila, we have a medium printer now. Which also has no power, so we'll move this right over here. Alright, let's look at our research. We're not getting any, and we don't have a lot. What we need, though, is a way to get more power, and that's going to be solar panel, 2,500. Oof. 3,200 for the medium wind turbine. No, we need the larger solar panel, which we make here at the medium printer. Oh, and this research is complete. So let's go ahead and... let's make our way down this cave for a minute. Because I saw something in this cave that's pretty exciting. So normally, when you go down into these caves... let's get a little bit of this oxygen. And we'll get a little bit more over here. Alright, so we'll breathe off that for a little bit. But you can see there's like debris and stuff out here. This is really important. These levels that have the debris like this often have really good things down here. So what do we have? We have ammonia, a little bit of wreckage. No, nothing there. Let's see over here what this is. Oh, we have a marble. These are like little Easter eggs you can play with. Not seeing what I'm looking for. So perhaps this isn't deep enough here, but what I'm looking for is some sort of... oh, nope, that's a thruster. Okay. You can mess around with those. Those are kind of fun. Oh, here we go. What do we have? Dynamite? That's not really what I was looking for. And dig this satellite here, though. Dig it out and see what's here. No, okay, so this isn't going to give me what I'm after. I need to retreat. See, I thought I'd jump the gun and get a little bit ahead of where I should be. Normally those areas where you can see thrusters and wreckage will have a lot of little extra bonus goodies. I don't want to give it away in case you don't know, but it's always very valuable for your early progress if you can find some satellite wreckage down there of a certain kind early in the game. It changes things up significantly. So instead we're going to go back down here. Looks like we're going to get more compound and more tethers, and we're just going to stay down here for now. And the compound is right here. Tethers do make a big difference. Because obviously you can just sit here like you're in your base, and you'll get power and oxygen as required from your base. But compound is valuable for a lot of other things. So I don't like to go crazy with the tethers. Even though you can get it easily enough. I always end up being pretty minimalistic. But caves, tethers in caves, that's sort of the most necessary time to use them. Alright, we'll make some more. What we're looking for is a section of the cave that's going to go down. So we can get a little deeper. This is still kind of shallow for what we're looking for. A little more research would be nice. Oh, these plants are bad, so you need to kill these plants as soon as you can from a distance. because they will spew this poison gas at you that sort of tracks where you're at. And all you have to do is dig up the roots, and those plants will be done. Ooh, and they all had some kind of research. Look at this. Oh, this one looks good. Let's take this one back. So ideally we're going to want to take them all back, but it's a process trying to carry research back up. If my memory serves me, though, this green little porcupine is actually a really good one. Not 100% though, but I think it is. Ooh. Really pushing those O2 tanks to the limit. Alright, so we'll bring this research back up. We'll see what kind of bytes per minute we're going to get out of it. And then I think we'll go ahead and wrap up the episode. Sort of a good second episode. I feel like we got a good bit done underground in the cave, and we talked about things. Do I want to let you finish? What are we looking at here? 3 more minutes for 78 bytes? Really? And that's just from the solar panel? Well, we could put in this organic here and just boost it up a little bit. So let's do that. Okay, now it's 50 seconds. Alright, and that's where we'll wrap up the episode, and I'll swap this research out at the start of the next episode as we try to work on the next step. So this has been Astroneer 2. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've had a good time watching, because as always, I have had a good time playing. So come back next time as we continue to grow our base, and we'll use this mineral extractor to greater effect, and also hopefully start getting our research numbers a little bit higher. But until next time, take care.